Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Today I will presenting materials about deductive reasoning, propositional logic on the book The Power of Critical Thinking, Effective Reasoning about Ordinary and Extraordinary Claims, 6th edition by Louis Fall. Okay, let's jump to the material. Here we take up an exploration of propositional logic for the truth, functional logic, the branch of deductive reasoning that deals with the logical relationship among statements. In propositional logic, we use symbols to represent and clarify this relationship. If you master this material, you should reap at least two rewards right off. The first is more thought understanding of the power, precision, and dynamics of deductive reasoning. The second is the ability to evaluate the validity of very complex arguments. If you don't know anything about propositional logic, the only way you can check this argument for validity is to use brute brain power. You just have to noodle it out, and the noodling will not be easy. But with a grounding in propositional logic, you can figure this one out in connective and truth values. In propositional logic, we use symbols to stand for the relationship between statements, that is, to indicate the form of an argument. These relationships are made possible by logical connectives such as conjunction, disjunction, negation, and conditional. Connective are used in compound statements, each of which is composed of at least two simple statements. A statement is a sentence that can be either true or false. To indicate the possible truth values of a statement and argument, we can construct truth tables, a graphic way of displaying all the truth values possibilities. A conjunction is false if at least one of its statement components or conjuncts is false. A disjunction is true even if one of its status or disjuncts is false. Negation is the denial of a statement. The negation of any statement changes the statement's truth value of its contradictory, or false to true and true to false. A conditional statement is false is only one situation, when the antecedent is true and the consequent is false. Next is checking for validity. Truth tables can be used in determining the validity of arguments. The truth table test of validity is based on an elementary fact about validity that you've already encountered. It's impossible for a valid argument to have true premises and a false conclusion. So any procedure that allows us to easily check if premises are true and conclusion is false will help us test an argument for validity. The use of truth tables to determine the validity of an argument is based on the fact that it's impossible for a valid argument to have a true premises and a false conclusion. A basic truth table consists of two more guide columns listing all the truth values possibilities, followed by a column for each premise and the conclusion. We can add Another columns to help us determine the truth values of components of the argument. You can check the validity of arguments not only with truth tables but also with the short method. In this procedure, we try to discover if there is a way to make the conclusion false and the premises true by assigning various truth values to the argument's component. Proof of validity. The method of proof is a way to confirm the validity of an argument by deducting its conclusion from its premises using simple, valid argument forms. Most valid complex argument consists of several of these valid sub-arguments, most of which you might already know. Determining the validity of the large argument then is a matter of moving step by step from premises to conclusion, identifying the valid component arguments along the way. The method of proof uses 9 rules of interference and 9 rules of replacement. By properly applying them, you can confirm an argument's validity. And these are uh, the proof or the rule you can apply. Okay, I think that's it for me. More or less, I'm very sorry. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.